I'm not done with SpongeBob theories. Yet. The other day, I was reviewing some part of Doug Woolever's fucking mental skin theory video essay. Specifically, the one about the idea that there were entire stores dedicated to selling fake body parts and bodysuits in Bikini Bottom. Like how Doug broke down this part in the season 2 episode Dying for Pie, where these kids are stunning Squidward for wearing this Bikini Bottom equivalent of a fursuit, in this case a salmon, whose entire outer skin was apparently peeled off, which is why it's some sort of light red colour instead of grey. I'm going to break down another brief scene that was shown in the exact same insanely long video essay. See this scene from this iconic season 1 episode?
F is for frolic through all the flowers. U is for ukulele. And it's for nose picking.
Right here! Nose picking. Picking noses as in... Remember what I said about the relationship between humans and anthropomorphic humanoid sea creatures, like most of those living in Bikini Bottom? I mean, if this isn't just a mere gag with fake human noses added in by the then supernaturally genius writers, why else would they think it would be fun to put this particular concept in the show? Unless, in the same way that, you know how in human environments you get things like fur clothing and taxidermy for sale, and in some settings, ornaments and household items made of sea creature body parts, which has literally been shown in SpongeBob SQUAREPANTS? It can't be 100% impossible that those are real 7 human noses put in that store. This entire store selling real 7 human noses to the inhabitants of Bikini Bottom for some sick kind of fashion trend. I don't think this salmon suit scene is even that disturbing. Doug, first of all, this kid isn't the same colour as the suit Squidward's being forced to wear by SpongeBob. Second of all, the salmon suit's fins are over here, not where Squidward's arms are. These kids aren't stunning Squidward because he saved a fellow Bikini Bottom inhabitant's skin and wore like a costume. They're just stunning him because they think that's a horrible fursuit, and SpongeBob's just publicly humiliating Squidward by making him wear it while giving 0 fucks by smiling like that. No, this is nowhere near as downright horrifying as going to buy severed noses as a best friends forever gift. It's just yet another example of how the world routinely bullies poor Squidward. But at least those noses are probably too expensive for SpongeBob to purchase anyway, considering how much his salary from this stage-worn hyper-capitalist boss Mr. Krabs is. I bet when SpongeBob came up with nose picking, Plankton secretly went about with his typical horrific ways and decided to take SpongeBob to that 7 human nose store just because that's how he is, and because SpongeBob wouldn't see him as evil, or because he's just being dumb as fuck. And apparently, nobody in Bikini Bottom sees anything wrong with buying an actual human nose for their loved ones, so nobody bats an eyelid when Plankton decides to go there. So first, brutally killing a cute little baby whale's mummy and daddy, and turning their giant dead bodies into his notorious chum mix to feed the inhabitants of Bikini Bottom as an attempt to become a successful billionaire capitalist just like Mr. Krabs, and now inviting SpongeBob to come and look at severed noses from giant sentient biped beings who are parallel to the sentient beings of Bikini Bottom, in a store that sells nothing but several human noses to convince him to plan on buying one or so. What kind of macabre fuck college did you go to, Sheldon?